Good morning, ma'am. My name is Miss Harshala Jawahar Srivastav. My roll number is 151. I'm learning in LLB third year. My today's topic is UN Declaration on Right to Development. Here are given different articles. In that first one is the right to development is an inalienable human right. The right to development also implies the full realization of the right of people to self-determination. Article 2. The human person is the central subject of development. All human beings have a responsibility for the development. Article 3. States have the primary responsibility for the creation of national and international conditions. The realization of the right to development requires full respect for the principle of international law concerning friendly relationship. Number 3, states have the duty to cooperate with each other in ensuring development and eliminating obstacles to development. Now, Article 4. States have the duty to take steps to formulate international development policies. Sustained action is required to promote more rapid development of developing countries. Article 5. States shall take resolute steps to eliminate the massive and flagrant violation of the human right of people and human being. Article 6 says all states should cooperate with a view of promoting, encouraging, and strengthening universal respect for and observance of all human rights and fundamental freedom. In that second one is all human right and fundamental freedom are indivisible and interdependent. Number 3, states should take steps to eliminate obstacles to development. Number 7, Article 7, all states should promote the establishment, maintenance, and strengthening of international peace and security. States should undertake at the national level all necessary measures for the realization of the right to development. States should encourage popular participation in all spheres as an important factor in development and in the full realization of the human right. Article 9. All the aspects of the right to development set forth in the present declaration are indivisible and interdependent. Nothing in the present declaration shall be construed as being contrary to the purpose of the United Nations. Article 10 says steps should be taken to ensure the full exercise and progressive enhancement of the right to development. Now, universal, indivisible, interconnected, and interdependent human rights. The human rights to economic, political, and social and cultural development which is sustainable, which results in fair distribution of benefits to individual and people throughout a society, and which allows for the realization of all other human rights. The human right is an international environment in which human right to development and all other human right can be fully realized. The human right to full and equal participation in development and environmental planning and decision making and in shaping all policies affecting one's community and living conditions at the local, national, and international level. The human right issues. The human right to share in the benefit of scientific progress, the human right to equality and opportunity and freedom for discrimination based on gender, race, religion, or any other status. The human right to an adequate standard of living, including access to safe food, water, and housing, the human right to work and to receive wages that contribute to an adequate safeguards for pregnant women, the human right to equal access for all persons to productive resources, including land, credit, and technology, the human right to safe and healthy environment, The human rights at issue 3, the human rights to the highest attainable standard of health, the human right of the child to live in environmental appropriate for physical and mental development, the human right to equal access to educate and information including reproductive education. The human right is equality between men and women, including in all the matters relating to reproduction and equal partnership in the family and society. The human right to peace, the human right in individual and people to self-determination, including the right to determine freely their political status, to pursue their economic, social, and cultural development, and to have full and complete sovereignty over all their nature, wealth, and resources. Human right law that guarantees everyone that human right to development. Everyone as a member of society has the right to social security and is entitled to realization of the economic, social, and cultural right indispensable for his dignity. Universal Declaration of Human Rights says all people have the right to self determination. International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Right. State parties recognize the right of the child to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health. Conventions on the rights of the child. State parties undertake the prohibit and to eliminate racial discrimination in all its forms. Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. Human Right Law 2. States parties shall take all appropriate measures to eliminate discrimination against women in the field of employment in order to ensure on the basis of equality of men and women. Conventions on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against women. Indigenous people shall have the right to decide their own priorities for the process of development as it affects their lives, belief, institution, and spiritual well-being and the lands they occupy. International Labour Law Organization, Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Convention. The right to development is an inalienable human right. Declaration on the right to development. Human Right Law 3. Human beings are the center of concern for sustainable development. The objective of enabling all people to achieve sustainable livelihoods should address issue development, sustainable resources management, and poverty education simultaneously. The World Conference on Human Rights reforms the right to development as a universal and inevitable right and an integral part of fundamental human rights. Human Right Law 4. We recognize that social development is central to the need and aspirations of people throughout the world and to the responsibilities of government. The right to development is a universal and inalienable right and an integral part of fundamental human right. And human person is subject of development. Sustainable development is essential for human settlement development and gives full consideration to the needs and necessities of achieving economic growth, social development, and environmental protection. Here I have finished my topic. Thank you.